All right, we have to break down Nvidia stock in this one, go over the charts, how the stock's looking right now, some news we got, and overall what I'm looking to do with this stock. But first, hit the like button. Do not forget to follow along, subscribe for more content, and take a sip of your coffee. Cheers, by the way, guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in, and let's dive into it. So it's about 2:15 p.m. on the East Coast right now when I'm making this video, and you guys probably know the markets went crazy yesterday in a good way, and now we're starting to crash again. The S&P 500's down 4% at the time that I'm making this video. QQQ's down almost 5%. The Russell's down 4.5%, and the Dow's down over 3%, as the VIX is up over 30%. You heard that right. And Nvidia stock is down almost 7% after being up, I think, at one point 15% yesterday, maybe more. Yeah, actually, about 20%. It was up almost 20% at one point yesterday. So now we're giving back some of the gains, but still looking pretty decent here on the 5-day, 15-minute chart, and on the 5-minute chart as well. We look pretty decent overall. It seems like we're trying to maybe form some sort of reversal trend here, but obviously we're not fully breaking out by any means. You'll see that as we pull the layers back a little bit, but it's not looking bad. And we got some news that I want to cover in a couple of minutes here regarding Nvidia, which is good in terms of it's got to do with tariffs, Nvidia, China. We'll cover that here in a couple of minutes, but you can see overall we are breaking out of the moving averages on the 1-hour time frame for the first time in a couple of weeks, and we're still trading above them as of now, even though we're down 6.5% on the day. And on the 4-hour time frame, like many stocks out there, we got a rally up towards the 180 moving average. That was yesterday when we saw that ridiculous run, and we got rejected like many stocks. Pull up any stock you want, look at the 4-hour time frame, pop up the whatever moving average you use, the 200, the 180, whatever it is, and you'll see these stocks are getting hit there. Nvidia, it's the same. It's getting hit at this moving average, so we're not fully breaking out by any means, even though back to that 5-day, 15-minute chart, it looks pretty decent on this time frame. We're not breaking out. The reality is, if I draw this channel out, we're still very much so in a downtrending channel, and the rally that we got was pretty predictable. I mean, we obviously couldn't predict that Trump was going to pause tariffs, but we said overall we're one good headline away regarding tariffs from an overall market breakout and or just a relief rally, and that's what we got. And we were looking at Nvidia, and I mentioned it here when it was in the low 80s, mid 80s, low 90s. I was talking to you guys about how a relief rally would put this stock anywhere back from $105 to $110, maybe $100, and I was looking to maybe buy some short-term calls. I didn't end up doing that, but that would have made sense in hindsight now, looking back, and I'm not going to buy calls now either, guys, to get that straight. This would be a dangerous spot to buy call options, but at this point, what I'm doing with my stock is I'm holding on. I added more shares in the low 90s, a ton more on separate days. I think on 2-3 different days I added in the low mid 90s, mostly low 90s. So at this point, I'm just holding on as the stock's at 108. And if we start dropping again, I'm going to sell cash secured puts. If we get under $100, especially, puts start to run, I'm probably going to sell the $80, $75 cash secured puts in that ballpark with probably an early mid-May expiration date. We'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on these videos, of course. But for now, I'm just holding on in the meantime. I'm not buying. I'm obviously not selling. Just holding on to what I have. And if we start getting more downwards price action, which the chart kind of supports right now, we'll start selling some cash secured puts, maybe buy some shares in the 90s again, and go from there. So very interesting times, to say the least here, guys. Very interesting times. And Nvidia is rallying a bit right now on the intraday. You guys can see we are up off the 102 low. Now we're at 107, so we are starting to break out in the right direction in the very short term. But obviously, it's still downtrending overall. So let me come over here and show you the news that we got regarding China, Nvidia, tariffs, kind of what's going on here. So the Trump administration has backed off plans to impose further restrictions on the computer chips Nvidia can sell to China. This is reportedly, that has removed a big overhang on Nvidia stock, according to analysts. That's big news. The White House has decided not to impose curbs on sales of Nvidia's H20 graphics processing unit in China. The NPR reported today on Wednesday, or yesterday. Geez, I'm losing track of the days here. Either way, still very relevant. The H20, if you guys didn't know, is the most powerful AI chip that Nvidia is allowed to sell in China, and it is less capable, of course, than the Blackwell series chips. Blackwell series chips, if I can talk today, Nvidia sells in the U.S. and other markets, so it's less capable than Blackwell, obviously, but the fact that they can still sell this chip in China, the H20, that's a good sign, at least for now. And if we come down here a little bit more, the White House reversed course on its plans to restrict H20 sales after Nvidia CEO attended a dinner with Trump at Mar-a-Lago last week. Yeah, I mean, they definitely had a conversation there. If NPR's reporting is accurate, this news is a significant positive for Nvidia, as well as a more modest tailwind for other portions of the server supply chain, according to Wedbush securities analyst, and I think his name is Matt Bryson. He said on a client note on Thursday, which is today, Bryson rates Nvidia stock as outperformed with a price target of $175. Let's come down here a little bit more and see what else. Bryson said China demand for AI servers and in part H20 powered AI systems has spiked significantly since the launch of DeepSeek, with growth accelerating through February and March. And the Nvidia sales growth in China was partly fueled by buyers stocking up ahead of a potential ban. We can see here, but AI computing demand overall is still strong in China, according to this analyst. And it says here, Bryson also said, or Mizuho securities analyst said, losing all H20 sales would not be good for Nvidia. It was one pending risk or overhang keeping some investors away from Nvidia. So this is great news overall for investors. And Chinese internet service giants, including Alibaba, ByteDance, and Tencent, have placed an estimated $16 billion in H20 orders in 2025 already. Think about that. Already. So them not being able to sell H20 in China would not be good. So this overall, the fact that we haven't seen a ban or anything, great news overall for Nvidia, guys. Meanwhile, Morgan Stanley analyst Joseph Moore on Thursday reiterated his top stock pick buy rating on Nvidia with a price target of 162. He said, we think sustained AI spend and Nvidia's relative supply chain flexibility will help them outperform even in a higher tariff environment. I agree 100%. Obviously, you guys know I'm long Nvidia. We covered that obviously many times here on the channel. We talked about my plan earlier in this video. And at this point, I don't think I've mentioned this yet on the channel, guys, but Nvidia is my biggest individual stock holding as of now. It wasn't about a month ago, but with this crash, it's become my biggest stock holding. Not ETF. I mean, VTI is my biggest overall holding if we're looking at everything in my portfolio. VTI being the overall stock market ETF for the United States. It's got mid, large, and small caps in there. But other than VTI, Nvidia now is my biggest stock holding. It's how could it not be? I mean, there is some risk, obviously, with any individual stock, but with the growth Nvidia has, with the AI boom being just in the early stages, we have years and years of more growth, and Nvidia's positioned to be the best, if not, or one of the best, if not the best players in that space, right? With the growth they have right now, trading at such a low PE, forward P as well, super low. It's a no-brainer. So I am buying Nvidia, not now at these levels, like I said, but overall, I think it's a buy. Especially under $100. I've been buying it like a madman, and I'm super excited about the long term with this company. If we're able to block out the noise in the short term, forget about the chart. The chart looks awful. Let's be honest. The stock's at the same price it was at 8 months ago. It's not looking great. If we're able to block all this out and look 3, 5+ years out, it's a bright picture. It's a bright picture. The future is bright. No doubt about it. And that's why I'm buying and holding onto the stock. And I plan on buying more if things get uglier, which we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen there. It's unknown. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe, follow along for more content, and join the free stock newsletter. It's an email newsletter. I send my top stocks for free every single week. That is linked down below. Put your first name and your email address, and you're in there, guys, just like that. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video.